Hi everybody, how are you? I'm excellent. As the name of the video implies, today I am going to be taking you on a very relaxing ASMR tour, a show and tell of all my little crocheted creations, which are sitting back here. And I was going to have a nice view of all of them, but then I ran into this huge issue and I have to use this mic, which unfortunately kind of covers everything happening on the bed. So don't worry, you're gonna see everything, and I even have some really nice up close footage of everything. This video is inspired by ASMR by B, who also recently did a showing you all my crocheted items video, and I loved it. And if you don't know, ASMR by B is actually the person who inspired me to get back into crocheting after taking quite a break. So before I jump into showing you stuff, I'll just walk you through that quickly. I had always been a knitter, a knitting kid, and I guess I was the only 6-year-old around really into knitting. I thought it was really fun, but I was never good at it, and the extent of what I was making was a dishcloth, a washcloth, a little square. So there wasn't a lot of talent, and it was just fun. And over the years, as I grew up, I would get really into knitting and try to knit fun stuff, and then put it away in the knitting box, and then suddenly be like, oh yeah, I miss knitting, and I'd start a bunch of projects and then never finish them. on and off throughout the years, until 2020 came, and I was planning on getting a kitten, my first ever kitten. I've always had dogs, and I thought, I wonder if I could create a cat toy. So I went online and I saw a picture or a video, whatever, of a very cute little mouse with a curly tail, and I thought, okay, perfect. But as soon as I clicked on it, I realized, oh, this is actually a crochet pattern. So, but then I was like, well, I have a crochet hook in my knitting bag, so why not try to learn it? It must be fun. I had always thought crocheting must be harder than knitting. And I guess I just thought knitting was better. Double the utensils, double the fun. But I think actually crocheting is probably easier. But anyway, I go dig out this random crochet hook that had been included in this little kit I had, and I learned how to chain stitch, and I wasn't starting from scratch, luckily, because I had knitting knowledge, so that was fortunate. And I made a little cat mouse toy. I ended up making a couple. I gave one to a friend for her cat, and then afterwards I tried a little octopus pattern I found, and I think that was an amigurumi one, and that was cute. And I don't know where that is. I have no idea. I think it's in this box I have. When you move and there's one box you never unpack. I think it's in there. Anyway, those were the only two things I made, and I had a lot of fun. But then I got my kitten and I was very distracted by that, and kind of forgot about crocheting, to be honest. Until a few months ago, when I was watching a video by ASMR by B, She talked about how she picked up crocheting as a hobby, and she just reminded me of how much fun it was. And then also she started showing her stuff, and they were really, really cute. And she was using this fun like plush yarn, and I'd never made anything with plush yarn, and I kind of thought that seems more fun than the little thin yarn stuff. So she really made me want to get back into it. So while I was like, oh, I really want to get back into it, I dug out the knitting box again, and my one sad crochet hook, which is a really weird size, by the way. If you don't know, most crochet hooks are like 2.0, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, 5, 6, you know, whole and half numbers. The crochet hook that I have is a 3.75 millimeter, which I found is weird and pretty much no pattern calls for. So I found a little seemed easy enough pattern that I could try right there with the rudimentary stuff I had and the old yarn that I had. Tag in my shirt is like sticking up and poking me. And I made this frog. He's kind of terrifying looking. I call him the Franken frog. And this is my first attempt at crocheting in like 3 years. As you can see, it's like the bottom is an absolute mess, and the eye stalk bits were made differently and sewed on, and I just didn't know what I was doing. Also, the white belly was sewed on, and I didn't have any black embroidery thread, so I used something else, and that looks awful. By the way, I should mention, as you see my hands up close, as ever, I have scars on my hands. Although this time, it's actually from a different cat. I was petting a neighbor's cat, and she was loving it until she wasn't, and she just got me really good. They're healing already, but yeah. So, as ugly as that frog is, it did kind of reignite a passion for crocheting, and I ran out to the craft store and I bought a whole bunch of fun plush yarn, and I ordered online a set of a bunch of different sizes of crochet hook, everything from a 2.0 millimeter to like a 10, and it even came with stitch markers, darning needles, everything you would need. And I also bought some plastic safety eyes. Those are what you use to give your guys faces. And I then attempted to make another frog. This was the Cheeky Frog from False Bubbles, who's an amazing YouTuber crocheter that I really love. And if you want to get into crocheting, I do recommend checking out her channel. I forgot to mention that I'm going to try to put links to all the patterns for everything I've made in the description. So if you see something and you're like, I want to make that, there'll be a link in the description. If I forget one, then leave me a comment and I'll get back to you. So this is the Cheeky Froggy. Beep, beep. And her name is Philomena Frog. I've probably shown her to you before. Dun, 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 dun. Philomena Frog. This is my first time learning like the bobble stitch, which I use for the eyes, the little arms, and the little ears. And I don't think I did a good job. These don't like poke out equally. I feel like I could do a better job now. I also feel like I could have done a better job defining the butts. It's cute. Maybe it's just the kind of yarn it is. It doesn't show as easily. I want to really showcase the shelf, you know. I love it though. This is such a fun pattern. And my first little big plush guy I tried to make. I really like it. Oh, don't look at the frog butthole, everyone. Don't look. Sorry. I love Philomena, even though I don't like real life frogs. And I didn't, I made her little like pink blush cheeks, right? And they're very cute. Yeah. Not too bad, I think, for like my first plush creature creation. So my first attempts at plush yarn were very difficult, and I think that yarn wasn't even the easiest one to use because I really couldn't see the stitches. I've since learned how to use it, but that wasn't a good one to start with. I also made and I don't have it. Obviously, I don't have anything that I made as a gift and gave away, but I also have, I made this loaf cat, and I might have made that before Philomena Frog, and I made it for my friend, but I ran into a common issue when you use plush yarn, where rather than making something like a flat circle, it turns into a cone. It's conical. So the front of this cat is really pointy. Here's a picture of the cat. I have a photo. So it kind of looks more like a rat than a cat, to be honest. And I tried to make him kind of goofy-eyed. Anyway, that and Philomena, my first attempts at plush yarn. And then I had also gotten this really fun soft velvet yarn. It's like velvet plush or something. And with that I made Suki Seal, who is so soft. I loved making Suki, and it was really easy. Just kind of make the base body and this little nose mouth piece, sew that on, and the feet are included, and then of course you just make little flippers at the bottom down there. So it's a very easy beginner pattern. Definitely recommend. And although I still wasn't good at crocheting at this point, or like sewing, because if you use this like soft plush kind of yarn, it hides all your mistakes. So it's pretty forgiving in that regard. And my plastic safety kit came with some noses, so I used that, and I think it's probably better than if I'd used like yarn. And it ended up looking very seal-like. Yeah, I really enjoy Suki Seal. What do you think? It's just the only thing I've made with this yarn too. I should make something else. So I'm starting to get the hang of plush yarn a bit, and one of my favorite things I made early on, I can't 100% remember the exact order I made everything in, but this is like an approximate timeline. I'm sure you don't mind. I made this guy, this little mushroom, and I did show you guys this. I even made a whole short just for him because I love him so much. His name is Mikey Mushroom. I'll give you a close-up look. I love Mikey Mushroom. Look how cute. And I'd started to learn how to like change colors in a pattern at this point. So this is all like one thing. I didn't have to sew anything. It's totally no sew pattern. And if I flip to the back, you can see that kind of line there. That's where the color change started. You start from the top and work your way down. I think the bobble arms and legs also came out better than like Philomena or Suki, so you can kind of gradually see me get a little better. And I gave him cute little plushy cheeks. I love it. There's Mikey. So aside from like cute animals and mushrooms, I also really like cute food things. So one day I randomly made this macaron because, like, I don't know, I just really wanted to make something and I didn't know what, and I wanted something easy, and I had the idea to make a macaron. And sure, there are loads of patterns online for them, and I had like this fun blue yarn that I thought would be like a cute macaron color, and that was pretty easy. And I didn't make it a face or anything, it's just a macaron rather than like a plushie. And then I made one of my favorite foods, which is a ball. And they're perfect for crocheting because they're just like round. They're just round balls. I didn't do a great job of the pleats on top. I didn't really know what I was doing. So he's he's an early attempt. But I did start getting better at crocheting, I think, at this point. You can see in his stitch work, it's like a lot more even, just better looking, even though I didn't get the pleats right. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I was supposed to have at least 5 pleats, and I only got 4. So I don't look at it from the top mainly, but I do feel like I started to really get the hang of crocheting here. Starting to know what I'm doing. Then I became really bold and I decided that I could make like a really complicated little cat and give them as gifts. So this was the first time I purchased a pattern. I've previously just been finding free patterns online, and I bought this really cute cat pattern. My intent was I'll make 2. I could use the same pattern but with different colors to make cats that look like 2 of my friends' cats. And this was complicated because previously I've been doing a lot of no-sew or very light sewing. This one required me to make the head, 2 ears, sew that on, a body, sew that on, 2 arms, sew that on, and a tail, and sew that on. So this is the finished cat. It's recognizably a cat. I guess he's kind of cute, but it came out a lot bigger than he was supposed to because the pattern called for like a size 2 yarn, and this is size 4. I mean, honestly, it's not great, but I feel like I should go easy on myself. I was still really new to crochet. I'd only been crocheting for like a couple weeks at this point, so I guess it's not that bad. Cute and squishy. I don't like the way the face came out. I tried to use one of those little noses like I used with Suki Seal, but this one is like really, it's crooked and I can never get it to stay on right. And I used a cream color yarn rather than white, and I think that just doesn't look as good. It's okay, but then wait till you see the second one I made that was an orange cat. That one came out cuter. So now that you've seen him up close, I finished this, which was for one friend, and then I moved on to the next cat, which is going to be for another friend. So I learned a lot of what to do and not to do with this guy, and I kind of learned from that when making my next cat, an orange cat, and the orange cat came out much better. And this is what the orange cat looks like. Obviously I don't have it because I gave it away. And then I made that cat, and I kind of started looking at my original black and white cat, and I was like, I can't give this. I can't give this as a gift. It's not good enough to gift. I can do better. So I remade it, and I think the remade version looks a lot better. It's not, this guy isn't bad, I should say, but he's staying with me, and the other 2 better ones are with my friends. then I started wanting to make my partner a lot of stuff, like little things. I made him this little, he's got some fluff on him. I made him this little octopus, and I think this is like the same octopus pattern that ASMR by P has done, and they're really cute. I think she's made like multiples of these, and like I kind of feel like I should too. I really like the way his face turned out. Look up close. He looks like kind of angry, kind of cheeky, and he is an, as B would say, an anatomically correct little octopi. We can count his tentacles. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. For some reason when I was making it, I thought I messed up and only got 7. But it ended up okay in the end. I believe this was a Dumbo octopus pattern originally, so like you could include the Dumbo ears that the Dumbo octopus has. I just left it off because I thought he looked cute this way. A little orange octopus with a little cheeky, angry expression. I really like him. And I also made him this little dinosaur, which is really cute. This is like a little dinosaur, like a baby dino, which I think is very cute. And yeah, it's just cute. I gave him like little blushy cheeks. I like adding blush to the cheeks, and if I can't put on powdered blush or anything, then I like to do like a little pink cheek action. I think it's very cute. Dun, dun, dun. I don't know what he named this dinosaur, baby dinosaur, but I like the colors. I think they look cute, and I got to use the baubles again, and I even included cheeks, which I don't think the original pattern called for, but I just like to do it. I'm not good at sewing, so the little spikes going down the back are not sewn on amazingly. The one at the top kind of falls to the side, kind of looks like he's a mohawk, but I can never get it to stand up straight. Oh well. So when I bought the pattern for the little loaf cats, I also bought another pattern, which was for this really amazing big marshmallow kitty, and this is probably, you know, the longest time I've put into a project because it's the biggest, but so she's huge. Yep. She is a big sleepy cat. I really like her stubby tail, and she's got like a little patch, orange patch, and orange ear, which is very cute. I know the colors don't show up really great on here because of like my light kind of washes them out. That's why I've been doing the close-up footage, but she's really big, so kind of hard to do close-up footage with her. But she has a very cute expression, very sleepy, and this was just so much fun to make. I had a blast. It obviously looks like it took forever, and it did. It took hours, but they kind of flew by because I was having so much fun. I highly recommend this pattern. Yeah, well worth it. And she's like really big and squishable and huggable. She's so hard to get on camera. My camera's like totally crooked trying to capture this, but she's so cute. So I'm really bad at like embroidering faces, and don't look at the nose, it's really not that good. But the creator of this pattern is really talented and actually gives super helpful tips on how to embroider like faces. So I learned some really, really useful stuff doing this cat and the little loaf cats. Highly recommend checking out their YouTube channel for that. But I was honestly so excited that I was able to make it look a lot like the photos that I saw from when I bought it, because I just didn't think my skill level would be there, but it was so easy to do that I think anyone can make this, even as big as it is. It's not difficult, pretty easy, beginner-ish kind of pattern, and so cute. A couple of them I like to just like, after I made them, I just kind of carried them around. This one and Suki, they're like my babies, and actually Pippin really likes to sleep on this cat, which I think is so cute. Yeah, that's the marshmallow kitty. I feel like with the marshmallow kitty, I feel like saying, I don't play favorites, I love all my crocheted creations equally. But then I go up to the marshmallow kitty and I'm like, it's you, and by a lot. So I'd seen this recipe and I've been wanting to try it for ages, which was a waffle pillow. And I finally made the waffle pillow. If I had a second favorite, it might be the waffle pillow because it was a blast. It was way easier than I thought it would be. I had never done this waffle stitch before, so I had to totally learn it from scratch. But it ended up being a lot easier than I thought it was gonna be. And I just made like, this was I think maybe the first time that I worked in non-amigurumi, which is like round like that. But this one, I started at the bottom and I went like bloop, 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 like that. I did rows. I did that all the way to the top, and then I did another one, and then I crocheted all the way around the edges, stuffing as I went, and I didn't stuff it too much. Then I made a little square, butter pat using like a cream colored yarn, and then I just added a little face, and that's my waffle pillow. I kind of want to make a waffle purse, like the same pattern, but if I don't sew the top and I could make like a chain, I could turn it into a purse. It'd have to be more like a fashion purse. I couldn't like put it on the floor or anything, but can you imagine this is like carrying it around on your arm? I love this thing so much. It came out even cuter than I thought it was going to. Look at it. And isn't the actual pattern looks so cool, the way it's like indented and like and raised, like it's got a real 3D texture to it. It's really cool, and this yarn is super soft, so I actually really love this. It's like the perfect waffle color too. I got it, I think I might have gotten it with the intent of making the waffle, because I looked at the color she was using and I got pretty much the same one, I think. But I think I got it in a thinner size, size 4 or 5. I kind of want to make a bigger version, like I kind of wish it had been bigger, but this is the size it was based on, you know, the size of my yarn and my hook and all that. But I love this thing. I think it makes a fantastic decor piece for like your bed or whatever. I had picked up some like yellow yarn at the store one day, just because I felt like yellow would be a fun color to have. It was one I didn't really have, and so I'm looking at the yellow and I was like wondering what to make with it, and I thought I want to make the duck spirit from Spirited Away. And I went online and I looked up patterns and I couldn't find one that really suited my needs. They do exist, but I didn't, they weren't easy to follow, or they weren't exactly what I wanted. So for the first time since I've ever crocheted, I made my own pattern. I just made something up from scratch, and this was what I ended up with. He's a lot more short and squat than I intended him to be, but I think he's perfect. I'd made enough like round things that I knew how to make the round body, and I knew how to give him a flat bottom so he would sit, and then I just kind of I winged it with the wings. And made just like little round things for the eyes. Yeah, I love them. I actually did a terrible job of sewing on the beak. It's only sewed on in like 3 spots, so don't look too close as I zoom in. My friends say that he stares into your eyes, like he sees into your soul, which I think is very accurate. He does. But that's exactly the look that I wanted. Really pleased with how the wings came out. Oh, that's a bit of the yarn poking through. Oopsie. And I stuffed him so nicely, so he's got a real nice squish, fat, and a little flat bottom for sitting, which is so good. Honestly, just so pleased with myself over this one. Yeah, he feels great. He's got like a heft to him because he's stuffed so well. I really prefer overstuffing rather than understuffing because they feel more solid that way. He's gonna see into your soul now. He'll read your future. It looks like he wants to fight you the way his like wings are like curled like that. Like you want to fight, right? See what I mean? I'll fix that. Let me just put his little wings down. There we go. Yeah, that's my Spirited Away duck spirit guy. Although, so the one thing I need to make to finish him is like a little leaf hat, but I don't have any green or the right green to do that, so he's leaf hatless right now, but I think he's still perfect. So of all these animals that I've been making, I had yet to make my favorite animal, which is the giant panda. I love pandas. I always have. I used to like collect them as a kid, and I had looked for quite a lot of panda patterns, but none. I don't know, I guess I'm just very picky about how I wanted it to look, and they weren't speaking to me. But I did come across this YouTube channel, a crocheter, and I really liked the look of the animal she was making. And you saw that she had this really cool, it was a panda coaster. And I love the idea of like your crocheting stuff being useful, even though like my stuffed animals are all like I love them and they can sit on my bed and I can squish them or whatever, but it feels cool for them to have a use. So I made the panda coaster. I actually have one of my cups here. You can see that it perfectly fits. There's nothing in it, so I can like tilt it. See? It's like a perfect fit. So the panda holds my coffee cup, and not just that, you could put like little trinkets and doodads in there. Sometimes I put some of my crocheting stuff, like my stitch markers can fit in there. So I really like that. It was kind of hard to follow actually because the pattern and the creator is Korean, so I was kind of like I couldn't just understand any of the text. Fortunately someone just like wrote the pattern down in the comments, but they were using a technique I hadn't tried before. Just for that reason I'd say this one wasn't as beginner, even though it actually wasn't too complicated. You're making a big flat circle, you're making the round head, and then little arms and legs, and I used like a chunky pink yarn to do the paw pads, and I think it actually ends up looking so cute. And I love the facial expression. And she also had a pattern for like a plain panda that was like non-coaster format. Don't know if I'll make that because I've actually very recently, I'll show you in a minute, made a normal small panda. So I don't know that I need to make her version, but the guy is cute, isn't he? I like him. I also, similar to my duck, I had gotten this really fun, it's a cross between like a mint green and a blue, ice blue, and I was like, what should I make with that? And I thought, oh, penguins. that's a cute penguin color. So I made Percy Penguin, who's really washed out on the camera, but so cute. Oh, we'll go up close. You can look at Percy Penguin. Hi, Percy Penguin. So the beak and the feet color is the same as the accent color on the Marshmallow Kitty, which ended up being perfect, I think. And I was just kind of messing around with the mouth, and it ended up looking exactly like two little beak, like top and bottom, and that just kind of was a happy accident, to be honest. So yeah, I actually like color changing with the plush yarn. It's easy to do, and the end result is it's like more impressive looking, you know what I mean? And I stuffed this guy really well too, so he also feels great and really solid and a nice squish. I love a good squish with my animals. Percy Penguin. It ended up being the perfect penguin color, I think. I really love this guy. Maybe he needs blush though. I just realized one of my few animals or critters that doesn't have blush. I feel like I took a break from crocheting from a lot of January, really, I guess. I think I started in like November, and then I did loads November and December, and then come January I burnt out a little bit, but I just wanted to wait a bit. And then in February I made my partner a joint Lunar New Year Valentine's Day present. I made his Chinese zodiac, which is a monkey, and because it's Valentine's, he's holding a heart. So this is his Lunar New Year Valentine's Day gift, and the heart is, it doesn't have to hold the heart, it's like a separate thing. But what's cool about the monkey is this is my first time adding wire to my crochet stuff, so like the tail bends with the wire, so you could like make whatever sort of pattern. You could wrap it around something, he could be holding something, and there's wire in the feet and the arms too, so that's how he can like hold stuff. This was a really fun pattern to make. It's from All About Amy, I think, and she's got a whole set of every single zodiac animal, so I kind of want to go through and like make all my friends' zodiac animals. I'm a pig or a boar, so I guess I should make mine at some point. But this monkey was so cute, I couldn't resist, and I think he really likes him. I'll show you up close. This one was like a really fun kind of challenge because it was so different. The face started out being flat, and then we worked into amigurumi rounds all the way to the back of the head. And honestly, I'm still really bad at sewing. In fact, there's a bit here where you can even see that the head is not sewn on like 100% to the body. So I feel like I need to go fix that. But using the wire was so cool. I love how the tail can just bend around like that. I mean, that's really cool. And it can hold something. Also with his arms or with his tail, actually. And the heart, the original pattern called for a banana, but like I said, I wanted to make a heart for Valentine's Day. So this is my first time trying to make a heart shape, which was another interesting little challenge. I figured it out in the end. Just a real tiny little one. And it's not like perfect looking, but it is cute. And you can kind of see here that it was hard to sew because I couldn't get the needle in around the arms. So you see it's like there's a bit of a gap there, a hole. So I may have to go in and patch that up. But this monkey has some blush, and I used another one of my cute noses from the nose collection, which worked out really well. The pattern called for like a dark brown thread, but I think that this nose worked perfectly, and it's got a really cute expression. So can you see how it was flat and then I worked into round? I'm also getting pretty good at my stitches. They look really even and clean, so I'm pleased with myself there. Overall, I love it, even though the head is massive, kind of top heavy. So I said I'd made a smaller panda, and that was just, I just made them like 3 or 4 days ago, because I'm starting to like want to crochet again, and I thought I still haven't made a panda. Made the panda coaster, yes, but so found this little guy, and isn't he cute? It's just a really tiny little panda, and I really like him. If anything, the smaller things are harder to do than the bigger things, because like the bigger they are, the faster they work up, and with the plush yarn you can hide bad crocheting, but there's like no hiding it on these tiny little things. Let's go up close. Here's my new little baby panda. I like that it's kind of like a little doll, and it is so tiny, just adorable. It's a little bit of a challenge making the arms and legs because they're so tiny, actually. But it can like just sit on my PC. I see it sits on my monitor and my camera. It can just fit in the palm of my hand. I really like it. I think it's cute. It's weirdly hard to find a really cute panda pattern that I really liked. But this guy did the trick, and he keeps me company while I work, like while I edit and stuff. He says hi. Hello. So the reason I actually made this video, aside from the fact that ASMR by P did something similar, and by the way, the link to her videos in the description, so please check that out when you're done with this one for more fun crochet ASMR. But one of my best friends, for whom I've made a couple of cats, she told me, well, her mother-in-law is in town staying with her, and I didn't realize that she's very crafty as well. I think she does needle felting, and I think, you know, my friend was telling her how I have made her crocheted stuff, and so she wants to come over and see all my creations. So I was getting them all together, putting them together, and that's when I thought, oh, you know, maybe I should show you guys all of them in like one dedicated video, because like I've shown you things I've made here and there scattered throughout different videos or shorts, but I thought it'd be cute to have one place where you can see everything and get patterns if you want. So that's why I made this dedicated video. But I was like, oh, I need to make her something when she comes over. I gotta give her something. I've met her before and her partner, and they're lovely, so I really wanted to make them a little something. I was like asking my best friend, what's her, you know, what animals does she like, what could I make her? And she said, I think she really loves cranes. Yeah, I don't think I can make a crane. I'm not that good. I don't know how to make a bird that's not like a fat penguin or a fat duck. So I was like, is there anything else? Is there anything else? And eventually she's like, they have a lot of frogs in their garden. I was like, done. Frog. I can do frog. So I made a pattern I've already made before by stitching with sab. Stitching with sab also does the mushroom, Mikey mushroom. Have I shown him already? Okay, so here's the thing, honesty time. This is the second time I filmed this video. I filmed an hour and 15 minutes not that long ago. And you know, I have 2 mics. I use the other mic. Sometimes I have an issue with that mic where it makes a weird knocking sound, like almost like someone's tapping on the microphone. I think it's like a loose input or something, I'm not sure, but when I was listening to it in editing, I'm just such a perfectionist. I just can't put out a video that I don't feel pumped about. No, you know, I want to feel proud of every video I put out, and it was just not good enough. It didn't meet my standards. So as much as it pained me, I'm like, well, we're scrapping that hour and 15 minutes of footage. Let's refilm. So here I am, I'm refilming this. So I can't 100% remember what things I've shown you or not at this point, because I've been doing this for hours. But you have seen this guy, I've shown him before quite a bit because I love him. But he is a big version. Well, her mushroom pattern, basically, you follow the pattern, you could use whatever size yarn you want, and that'll depend on how big he is. So I used a big chunky, size 6 yarn, and looks like this, and I love him. And then I made, using smaller yarn, a little version for a friend, and I sent that to her. And she also has a frog pattern, and the frog looks like this. It's so cute. So let's compare this frog to Franken Frog that I first showed you, and you can see how much better I've gotten in, a couple of months of crocheting. So here you can see I've actually learned how to change color so it can be one seamless piece, and this is totally no sew versus Franken Frog, which had sewed on pieces. So I mean, this is actually an easier pattern because it's no sew. The eyes are kind of hard to get in, and I don't think I did the bobble eyes 100% correct, but look at the difference. Oh my gosh. I mean, the stitches alone, they look so much better. The crochets, look at that difference. And this is, as you can tell, the exact same kind of yarn. The bottom is night and day. Oh, I don't even like looking at on the one on the right. I don't know what I was doing. So this is what, a couple months of progress will do. Can make much cuter frogs, even though I don't like frogs. So I made this little frog to give to my friend's mother-in-law. She's visiting, but her partner is back at home, and I can't let her go without having something too, so I made for her the mini mushroom, because they go perfect together. So they should have a matching pair, right? So they can go together as little friends, little besties. And here I can show you. Don't ever talk to me or my son again. So yeah, I needed to film this because my friend and her mother-in-law are coming over in an hour or so. At which point I am going to give these to them. So I love this guy. I really should make one for myself. I've only ever made them as gifts to give away. And this guy is my second one. I gave one to my partner, and then he's going to best friend's mother-in-law and her partner. So I hope they like them. I think they're very cute. Let's get a close-up look of the mushroom with the froggy. Aren't they adorable? And they're best friends forever and ever. Look at this little guy. Yeah, he's so cute. And I love that it's the same one as my big Mikey mushroom. I'll get out Mikey mushroom in a second and we can do a direct comparison. There's the color change right there. This is a really easy, quick project, so I do recommend this guy. It probably will take you 15-20 minutes. Same with the frog. It's honestly really easy. And come on, look at the end result. You know who else likes the mushroom? Marzipan. Marzipan likes a mushroom. Actually, after I filmed this video, I caught her playing with it. She had knocked it on the ground and was playing with it. So here's big one, and here's the baby. Again, same pattern, size 4 yarn on the left, size 6 yarn on the right. Pretty cool, huh? And so obviously the big one is really soft because it's a soft yarn. And yeah, I don't even have favorites between the two, you know? One is so bitty and tiny and cute, and the other one is like so soft and squishy. I really love them both. Kind of want to make an army of mushrooms. Speaking of mushrooms, I did actually forget to show you one thing, and it's this little pop-up mushroom. Kind of looks like a mushroom from Mario, like a power-up. This one is special though, because he has a special popping mechanic. Boop. Look at that, isn't that fun? So it's kind of like a sensory fidget toy. You can like pop them and it kind of clicks into place. It's very satisfying, and it was really easy to make. You only have to stuff the bottom. It's no-sew. Give it a try. And this other pop-it patterns, like it doesn't have to be a mushroom. I've seen one for like a Christmas tree. Sorry, my cats just started snoring. I don't know if you can hear that, but I made this one for my partner, and he sits on his desk, so I forgot to show this one in the video, but here's the pop-it. Yeah. Can you tell I really like mushrooms? I love to make mushrooms. So yeah, sorry I forgot about this guy, but I did get the B-roll footage of him. Okay, let me get back to the video. So I made the marshmallow kitty, and although it doesn't look anything like marzipan, the marshmallow kitty still has marzipan's coloring, sort of. By the way, marzipan slept on the bed the entire time I filmed the B-roll. I'll show you the footage at the end. But so Marzi is kind of cream and orange ginger, so cute. And so the marzipan, or the marshmallow, oh, their names are similar. It's kind of like an homage to her. And I wanted to make an homage to Pippin. He's a little bicolor cat. Bicolors have like the V on their face. And so I went online and I looked and I found a cute pattern. It was a 2-in-1 I bought for a bicolor cat. A standing one or a laying down one. And I wanted to do I wanted to use my plush yarn. I had plush gray and I have the white from the marshmallow cat. So I used that, and I'm like, well, I know it's gonna be bigger than the 7 inches it's meant to be for the whole cat. I didn't realize it would be this big though. Look at it. He's right here. Look at him. He's huge. This is how big it ended up being. And without being mean, this is my least favorite thing I have ever made. And it's not even because of how silly and derpy he ended up looking. It's because of this gray yarn. This gray yarn I thought was gonna be the end of me. I don't know what's wrong with it, but something is wrong with it. And this is the same as the marshmallow kitty. And it's a breeze to work with. It's so smooth, no issues. I love it. This was a nightmare. I struggled with like every single stitch. It feels dirty, like it's coated, and you can even kind of see, and maybe you can see in the close-up I'll show you, it looks visibly different. It is the same kind of yarn though. I have this in like 4 different colors. It's the Sweet Snuggles. Is it the Sweet Snuggles? I think it's the Sweet Snuggles Loops and Threads yarn. I've used it a lot, and this was the only issue I've had. So I was pretty much in tears, like just wanting to be done with this. Like I just wanted to end. Can you see the difference in the yarn? Not sure. I definitely can in person, but I'm looking like really up close. Let's get close up. I feel like you can see it. There's like a weird texture difference on the gray. Do you see that? and that doesn't exist on any of the other yarn. So yeah, I think if I hadn't such a struggle, I would like this more, but it is cute, even if it's massive. But then after I finished the massive weird Pippin head, I had just a little bit left of the white yarn, and it's just kind of sitting on top of my yarn basket, and it's enticing my cats. They're trying to touch it, they're trying to grab it, like it's a whole thing. So yesterday I was like, maybe I can make a little something just to use it up and they won't want to touch it anymore. So I'm like, what can I use like just a little bit of white for? Another bow. I've been wanting to make a bigger, chunkier bow for ages, so I finally did it. Here it is. And I literally just made it, so it doesn't have a face yet. It has the eyes, but it's expressionless. And I actually did a way better job on the pleats this time. I'll show you when we go up close. I love my bow so much. And I'll tell you in a minute, I actually changed the pattern a little bit. I added 2 additional rows to make it a little taller, so that it could overall be a little more round and fat, which I like. And I love the way the pleats came out way better than my little bow. Speaking of which, let's get them out so we can compare. Maybe I should make the big bow happy too, since the little one is, but look, he fits perfectly on there. And the same person, I think it's like Curious Papaya, who did this pattern, has a paid pattern for a giant one, like a absolutely massive one, that I may have to get and make one day. I just can't resist a giant ball like pillow. I think that would be really fun to like lie on top of and squish. I can't even imagine how much yarn it's gonna take though. Look up giant bow crochet and you'll see how huge it is. But then I ran into a funny issue because I'm using up the white, and I'm almost done. It's gonna be perfect, except the pattern I used, it was gonna make the dumpling a little shorter and fatter than I wanted. So I ended up adding an additional 2 rows to make it taller. And that meant I used up the white yarn, and I had to break open a new white yarn. So I thought that was funny. And then there's 2 ways you can like use your yarn. You can like unwrap it, or you can try to pull from the middle, and then that's the gold standard, is if you can pull from the middle perfectly, then it uses from the middle and you don't have to stop and unwind it. So I'm pulling from the middle and I'm getting it, but then a bunch of other yarn comes out with it, and weirdly that yarn is disconnected from the rest of the skein. So I pull out this huge wad of loose white yarn, finish the bow, and now I have the exact same issue that I started with, a loose bunch of white yarn. So I made a friend. I made a dumpling. So my 2 favorite foods. And then of course this one doesn't have a face either. So let me know in the comments, what expression should they have? Should they be like happy? Should they be sleepy? Should they be like cheeky? Like, what should I do? It kind of looks like a cloud when it's all fluffy, but yeah, this one is so cute. This is a really, really fun, easy beginner pattern. You basically just make a big circle, then you fold it over, and then you crochet around the edges to make the folds. So it's a super simple pattern. Gotta think of what face to give this one to. And maybe I'll make a giant version of this too. Oh, I don't know. I just love making my crochet dumplings and balls and stuff. Dumplings are my favorite food. So it's worth noting I've made lots of dumplings before, but this is actually the first one I've made for myself. I've made one for just about every one of my friends and given to them as a gift. But they were like little, like that big, like actual dumpling sized. So that is my current collection. As I've said, these other things I've made that I didn't show you. I guess I should mention the whale I made my dad. If you missed it, I will put in the short I made showing that. This is the finished whale, but then obviously I gave it to my dad. He really loved it, by the way, except he pointed out that the whale that he wanted me to make doesn't have a dorsal fin. I technically made one with a dorsal fin, so but he loves his whale. And I also made him a dumpling. Everyone's gotten a dumpling except for me, so I don't know why it took me so long to make a dumpling. I so often give away stuff that I make that when I made the bao and the dumpling, I showed my partner. I was like, look what I made. And he's like, cool, who is that for? And I went, me. It's for me. I love them. So yep, that's everything. I'm now gonna go gift the little mushroom and the little frog to my friend's mother-in-law and go spend some time with them. I hope you liked this video. It was my second time filming it, so I feel like it was a hot, chaotic mess. I hope that you disagree. I hope it was okay. If you want to watch another awesome crochet show and tell, go click up there and watch ASMR by Bee's video or link in the description. And now I'm gonna try to remember all the patterns and put them all below. They are either going to be links to like websites or YouTube videos or Etsy for the few that I bought off Etsy. Okay, yeah. If you have never crocheted before and you thought that these guys looked cute, please give crocheting a try. It's probably much easier than you think, because I'm not particularly talented at yarn arts or anything, so if I was able to make all of that, you can do. Yeah, and you'll have a lot of fun as well. So a lot of these patterns, these things I made, are really great beginner projects. So if you start crocheting, please let me know. Tell me what you're making. I'd love to hear. And I hope you guys found this relaxing and you enjoyed the show and tell nature of it. Alright, I love you guys. I'll talk to you later, and I'll see you later. Thank you for watching, and have a great rest of your day. I'm gonna end this video on marzipan, okay? So this is my marzipan girl, my little girl kitty, the first girl cat I've ever had, and she's just so cute. Those of you guys who don't know, I adopted her last year. She's 5 years old, and she was incredibly nervous and shy. Didn't want to leave her little cat cave, or after that, the cat tower. There's like a box cat condo in it. She wouldn't leave that. Fast forward a few months later, and this is what she's like. She spends most of her day on the bed while I film or edit. She purrs constantly when you pet her. She's very, very intelligent. She's learned her name, which wasn't even her original name. I renamed her. Felt funny about renaming her because, I don't know, I've never renamed a cat before. I know dogs know their names a little better. I didn't know a cat would, but she actually does. She learned it, so I think she's very smart. And she just kind of has a rusty and grumpy face a lot of the time, but she's not grumpy, I promise. She's just a really sweet girl. She sleeps at my feet every single night. She gets up and she makes biscuits. She also likes to make biscuits right here on the bed, and sometimes you can kind of hear her in my videos. she and Pippin are both sleeping behind me right now, just like this. In fact, they are laying on top of all my crocheted stuff. Pippin was even licking one thing. I had to stop him from doing that. They like the soft things. They like to lay on them and squish them. Yeah. I thought you guys might enjoy a cozy cat vibe to end this video, because this is what she was doing the entire time that I was filming my B-roll. Normally when people come over and they meet my cats, Marzipan is shy. She hides, and Pippin is so friendly. He runs to the door to greet you, actually, and he always wants to be part of the action. So everyone loves Pippin, and they think he's the best, and they want to take him home. And I feel bad that no one realizes what a sweet, sweet, cuddly, lovely girl Marzipan is, just because she's really shy, and the only people she's warmed up to are me and my partner. But you guys can kind of see, because I catch her on camera being cute and sleepy, so you guys kind of know now what she's like. And we call her ears her dusty Cheeto ears. They look like she dipped them in Doritos or Cheetos. Yeah, so those are the dusty Dorito ears. They're like little Dorito chips. And she also has like a little dusty face. So cute. I've never had an orange cat before, but I love them. She does kind of go orange sometimes. It's really funny. She just kind of freaks out. Yeah, and we say, oh, she's acting orange. That's my girl. Okay. Marzipan says it's time to sleep. So if you're not totally asleep by now and relaxed, maybe think about lying down and closing your eyes. If not, if you're gonna continue your day, then I hope it's a really good day and really relaxing and full of soft kitty love. I love how the Pippin head is staring at us from the background. That's pretty funny. Oh, see, look how comfy she is. Big sigh. Okay. I'm gonna go about my day now. And we all wish you a good night, a good week, a good rest. Don't forget to check out the links in the description for all my crochet patterns and ASMR by B's crocheting show and tell video. I don't think I will do a crochet with me video though, by the way, just because I tried to do one with my Patreons and it was I was really bad at it. So before any of you suggest it in the comments, I just don't think I can do it. I'm not good at it. This is pretty much the extent. Oh, if you do have a fun crochet pattern though, by the way, feel free to drop it for me and everyone else in the comments who's watching. Anyone else who crochets, yeah. Especially if it's free, because I'm cheap. Although I'm not, not above paying for a great pattern. That's something that looks fun and I love. Like the marshmallow